you guys? How's it going?
Let's see if we can get 8 volunteers to do the soil science with Colin. All right.
And if it was all clay, you wouldn't want to grow plants in that. A little clay is good because
it carries the water.
When the sand goes in, it'll like push the clay apart so the water can come down.
What else other than with water, guys? What along with it?
Nutrients.
Thank you. In which one of these bottles, when we pour the 2 cups of water in, do you think that the water will go all the way through and start dripping out the bottom fastest?
This one.
I did this with a class the other day, and we filled it with clay, right? Just like in the middle of class, like we did with the sand. But the problem was we didn't have time to pack it down, and so there was
chunks of it.
So it was like kind of chunks, and so water came through and came out at the bottom pretty fast and kind of messed up our experiment. So it wasn't ideal, but now it's packed in there pretty well. So you think the water will come out faster when we pour more in? You think so?
No.
We'll hold it there for about 2 minutes, guys, and let's see. We'll use measuring cups underneath to see how much water builds up underneath.
2, 3.
There we go.
This one's not going actually.
Look how much higher that one is.
That one's dripping already.
This one.
After all that rain last weekend, much of our garden is pretty saturated still, even though it hasn't rained the last 3 or 4 days.
Soggy work?
So the thing about soil texture, you guys, is that anywhere you are, you're pretty much stuck with whatever kind of soil texture you have. And here in Berkeley, all people did for the most part was take forks and shovels and try and dig and loosen up the clay and get the clay out of there. Add compost, put fava beans in, because what do fava beans do?
They go on vines.
And people like bring in sand from places.
Bring in sand, not so much sand.
They bring in nutrients.
We added nutrients, but fava beans is one way that we add nutrients because they do something called fixed nitrogen. Okay, so fava beans take nitrogen from the air and put it in the soil. So that's why we had a lot of fava beans planted out here. But the point is that you guys are really lucky because by now, here we are 10 years later, we've built up a good foot of topsoil above the clay. That's what's really good for the plants, and that's where it's a mix, like you were saying, of some clay, some sand, and some silt. So guys, what we see.
So you basically put some of the nutrients on top, which is like white powder.
You mean the amendments that we add in?
Yeah.
The amendments of that's oyster shell and all those organic amendments, they have different minerals and nutrients that we add to the soil.